Today on Rappler. The NBI serves a subpoena to Vice President Sara Duterte after her threats against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Former President Rodrigo Duterte calls for military and police intervention in what he calls a fractured government. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin tells Duterte, no motive is more selfish than calling for a sitting president to be overthrown so that your daughter can take over. A former special disbursing officer of the Department of Education admits Sara Duterte ordered him to deposit money in the bank accounts of school superintendents. And China deploys naval and air forces to warn a United States Navy patrol aircraft that flew through the Taiwan Strait.
The National Bureau of Investigation serves a subpoena to Vice President Sara Duterte Tuesday, November 26, after her threats against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Duterte is directed to appear before NBI Director Jaime Santiago at his office at 9 a.m. on Friday, November 29 to explain her side and to discuss her own security concerns. The NBI chief says among their evidence against Duterte is the video clip of the Vice President's press conference on Saturday, November 23.
Kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Liza Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke.
She backtracked on her statement days later, claiming what she said had been, quote, maliciously taken out of logical context. Former President Rodrigo Duterte called for military and police intervention to protect the Constitution amid what he described as a fractured government. But he stopped short of calling for a coup d'etat.
Nagkaroon ng brigades to fracture the government. It is only the military can correct it. Hanggang kailan kayo magsuporta ng drug addict na presidente?
In a press conference Monday evening, November 25, Duterte once again called President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. a drug addict. But this time, he included Marcos's special assistant, Antonio Lagdameo Jr., in the allegations of illegal substance use. Duterte presented no proof to back his claims. Duterte said he plans to meet with military officers from Camp Aguinaldo about it, but he was careful not to explicitly call for a coup. Duterte's latest attacks on the Marcos Jr. administration came in the wake of a congressional investigation into corruption allegations against his daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte.
Malacañang chastises former President Rodrigo Duterte for urging the military to step in and fix the fractured government, a move the palace saw as seeking the ouster of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin says in a statement, no motive is more selfish than calling for a sitting president to be overthrown so that your daughter can take over. Bersamin adds the explicit call of former President Duterte for our armed forces to stage a coup d'etat against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is shocking. He notes Duterte will go to great and evil lengths such as insulting our professional armed forces by asking them to betray their oath for his plan to succeed. In another of his late-night press conferences, Rodrigo Duterte said there is a fracture in government and only the military can see the solution, but stopped short of calling for a coup. Bersamin goes on to say the state will act resolutely to go against all unlawful attempts and challenges. It is not clear what he means by act resolutely.
A former special disbursing officer of the Department of Education admitted on Monday, November 25, then DepEd Chief Sara Duterte ordered him to give cash to school superintendents through their bank accounts. Tingog Representative Jude Asidre asked former DepEd SDO Edward Fajarda,
meron bang pagkakataon na kayo po ay nag-reach out sa mga principal, superintendents, mga regional directors o empleyado ng DepEd para humingi po ng kanilang mga bank accounts?
Sa superintendent po, Your Honor.
Okay. Bakit po kailangan humingi ng personal bank details?
Actually po, I was instructed by BP Sara.
Asidre also showed a screenshot of a supposed conversation among school division superintendents from Central Visayas. Duterte herself had a no-gift policy in the DepEd. Manila 6th District Representative Benny Abante noted Duterte must have known that any gifts given could be considered bribery.
China's military says it deployed naval and air forces to monitor and warn a United States Navy patrol aircraft that flew through the Taiwan Strait Tuesday, November 26. It denounces the U.S. for trying to, quote-unquote, mislead the international community. The U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet says a maritime patrol aircraft flew through the strait in international airspace. It adds, the flight demonstrates the US's commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. Around once a month, US military ships or aircraft pass through or above the waterway that separates democratically governed Taiwan from China. These missions always anger Beijing. China claims sovereignty over the island of Taiwan and says it has jurisdiction over the strait. Taiwan and the United States dispute that, saying the strait is an international waterway. And that's today's wrap. With Cara Oliver, I am JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.